And here we go, getting started with another game here in MST. It's a battle of two teams that are 2-0. They've both clinched semifinal berths. And this will be the battle for the first seed. It's the Shediac Cap-Pele Predators and the Western Valley Spartans. Starting netminders for this game, it's Kiera Steves in net for the Spartans, and it's Mathieu Alain in between the pipes for the Predators as we are getting set for puck drop. And here we go, we are off, and we are aware of some issues with our video camera, and we are looking to resolve them as quickly as possible, as it starts out with a puck getting pinned right next to the Western Valley bench, and we'll have a whistle to quickly start off this game. So we'll try this one again. Face off just outside the Western Valley bench. Won by the Spartans. A little chip up to the neutral zone. Was caught in almost there by Fougere. Brought back in. Looking back for the Spartans. It's Veron. Behind the net. Taken by Gauguin. Out in front. That one had gone right above the crease. It's all the way back down into the Shediac end. Alain goes out of his net to play it in the corner. Here comes Crockett. Crockett in a battle there with Bro. Crockett taken down. There's a sharp angle shot that just goes over the net. Ever so close to going in. Garby forced out of the zone. Gauguin with pressure as well as Brun. Trailing there to take it up is Boudreau. Boudreau, the shot to the net. That would have been redirected away by Garby and behind the net. Out to the blue line, walking in with a clap ball that was just sent wide by Dominique Leger. To the blue line again, they'll try to set it up. There's Jacob with the shot. That one redirected wide of the net. Shediac behind the net with it up to the blue line. Jacob can't quite get to that one. So it'll find its way all the way back down to the Predators' end. Taking it there is Boudreau. Up against the wall. Try to tap that one over to Petitpas. Cross-ice pass from Leger. That went in and off the stick of Gauguin. He tries to bring it in and tried to go cross crease. Here's O'Brien out in front, side of the net. They jam at it. Goes back around the net. So Shediac with the initial first good 2 minutes. This one again going to be waved off for icing. Tapped by Alain. Going to be picked up by Noah Jacob. He's pinned against the boards by Conrad. Taken back there by Leblanc. Or that's Petitpas, excuse me. He goes up there over to O'Brien. O'Brien stopped in the neutral end. Has pressure. Now he gets pinned along the boards right up against the Zamboni doors as the Spartans will dump it in. That's off the backhand of Conrad and into the zone. Regathering here is Bro. Bro has a bit of time and space. He'll use that. The pass to the middle almost picked off. And that'll somehow manage to get over to Leblanc as he'll dump it into the zone. Leblanc walking in again on his backhand. Leblanc working his way into the slot. Got a shot off, but didn't get too much power behind. That's the first shot of the game. Out in front, another try. There's another pad save made by Steves in the net. Going to the high slot, taken away by the Western Valley defense. And again, luckily not getting a shot off there. Western Valley in the corner, shooting this one up, almost blocked in by Jacob at the line, but this one just finds and slips its way out. Predators will reset. Jacob shooting that one across rink wide for Bron, the D-to-D. Trying to clear it in, tapped off the stick of Anderson and be back into the zone. Leblanc skating with it for Shediac. Leblanc waiting. We'll throw that one against the boards. Out to get it there is Boudreau. Boudreau up the left wing, trying to work his way by Hayden. Dumping it in, trying to get some offensive zone possession. Haven't had a whistle in a pretty long time here. It's the Spartans. They bring it back the other way. Garby working his way through with the attempted shot. That one just went wide. Had found his way to about the slot and just can get the shot off. There's McKinley. just losing possession. Luca LeBlanc recovering. He's at the side of his net, waiting and tangling. That was a close one, almost stripped off the puck there by Davis. He'll now turn and fire off the boards. Picked up by Gauguin on the near boards. The outlet pass in the middle over for Boudreau. He's pickpocketed, and the Spartans now go back the other way, working his way in. There's McKinley with the shot. And that one just missed the net, not by very much. Davis trying to poke it in, but it's taken back by the Predators and moved back the other way. Gauguin unable to reach that one. It's back over for Hayden. Hayden back for his defense. The Spartans will go around their net in attempts to clear. Stopping at the blue line. Bit of some confusion as Sherman going D to D. Since sending across into the neutral end. The Predators that take over. Gauguin trying to find his way into the zone. Intense pressure as it now goes around the boards. Captured in by Jacob. Up to the line, barely held in. The Spartans may have a chance to get it out after he was in and out of between a couple feet. Again, no whistle since about the 11-minute mark here. Cleared in by the Spartans. This one not going to be for offside. Although that was by about a matter of a stride. Pass from LeBlanc, tried to get that to O'Brien. Under his stick. Delayed icing. Again, this one will be waved off. It's Gavin Veron that's able to get there in no time. He goes rink wide. That one intercepted and going back the other way. That looked to have been Wallet that got in the way of that. Luca LeBlanc down from the blue line to apply some pressure. Against the near boards in the offensive zone. Has possession, goes up. Throws it back down behind the net. Here's Veron turning and spinning on his forehand. Trying to get it up. There's LeBlanc sliding into the boards. Didn't know if that was intentional or not, but ended up poking the puck away regardless. Hayden, he tries to go against the wall. This one blocked in for the moment. Still barely kept into the zone. This one ends up behind the net again. Still behind the net is Steves. Veron going to try this one again. Tries to lift it high off the boards. Stopped in again by LeBlanc. LeBlanc to the middle. And that one intercepted by a Spartans defense. And this one will somehow be kept in again. I believe that was Alex Boudreau. Sending it to the middle and they score. And the Predators were in the zone for about 2 or 3 minutes straight. Bound to happen. That looks to be Jackson Fougere. That gets the Predators on the board. Just 5.5 to go in period 1. They were looking for a loose puck in the blue line. Fougere finds it, makes no mistake. Here's Michael Lebrun into the zone. They find it in the corner now. It's redirected just outside the zone. The Spartans bring it outside. Into the blue line they go. Working his way in. That looked to have been Conrad before he had lost an edge at the blue line. Floats one to the net, and that one turned away safely by Alain McKinley after it. Back at the line. Just held in. Again, not by very much. Davis looking after it. Spartans finally with some offensive zone time before it's backhanded all the way down the ice. And this one will go for icing against the Predators. This one curled around the boards. O'Brien able to lift that one out of the zone as they find it in the center. Shot back into the middle by Brun. It's the Spartans that bring it in. Pass in the middle. It's a bouncing puck. And that one taken away by O'Brien. He'll now find it along the near boards. Flipped in for Bro. Bro turning. He now is forced to go next to his blue line. Again, still trying to clear. The Spartans now bringing up some pressure. That's poked into the zone. O'Brien trying to find it in his feet. Held in at the blue line. down below the net. Almost picked up there by Jacob, as he will manage to find that one and move down across for a clean breakout here in the offensive zone. O'Brien trying to work his way in. He got stripped of the puck, so the Spartans go the other way. Now it's Speed. Up to the blue line they go, right down the middle. The pass across, another one, and 2 rink-wide passes right in the offensive zone. The second one just couldn't connect, as now the Predators are up through center. They work their way into the zone, cutting wide on the right wing. That one's Gauguin. Gauguin behind the net on his backhand, trying to lift one in. And that one is a save there by Steves, as there's some bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. And again, both of these teams 2-0. And if this one does not end in a tie, we will know our 1 seed in the U13AA division. Here's a rush back the other way. Sharp angle shot. What a save by Alain, as that one gone off the blocker. I believe that looks to be Lennon Crocker, who's down now in the corner, as play will continue. Not for very long, as they do get a whistle. That's Lennon Crocker that's down in the corner. Definitely shaken up. Declan O'Brien in there to help. They're waiting to see if they need a coach to come on. It looks like Crocker will get up himself and make his way to the bench. Looks to come out of there with minimal bruises. Face off now outside the zone. Three minutes left to go now in the first. Shot in by Fourgel. He has the goal for Shediac so far. Into the zone now. In the corner, trying to rotate it up. It goes to the blue line, cleared in by Jacob. Jacob gonna try that one again after this first attempt went off a body behind the net. Anderson will find that outlet pass right perfectly to McKinley, who sends that one to the middle. On the left wing now. Cutting, trying to move his way in. Right there's Hopkins. Hopkins down behind the net. They still look for the loose puck. It's pinned. Jacob looking for it. Rimmed along the boards. And there's a hit. An intentional body check that will send Shediac to the power play once the Spartans touch up. And there it is. So Predators to the power play in this one. There's a quick shot off the draw. Steves didn't expect that one. Recovered back by Lucas Leblanc behind his net. Working up towards center. Leads that pass up for Rhys Gauguin. Gauguin winds his way in. Tries to send that one over to Sacha Boudreau. On the goal line now. It's taken by the Spartans, flipped out. It'll just find its way to bounce outside the zone. Leblanc trying to get that one underneath his tape. Gauguin sends that one to the middle. Working up is Brun. Brun cutting it along the left. On the boards now to the middle. Now it's redirected and flipped up. So Shediac in a 1-1 game. They're going to get most of this period still to go in the power play. in a first period that they have played incredibly in so far. What a move from Liam Bro to get around Fahy. Fahy now still in the zone, causing some disruption. Up for LeBlanc. LeBlanc will lead the rush. Makes a nice move to get around Crockett. Another one. LeBlanc, here's the shot. Glove down by Steves. And that one's going to look good on the highlight tape. There's a shot from LeBlanc that has eyes for the top corner. And Steves is able to go up there and capture it with the leather. Oh, just under a minute to go in period one. Here's a shot from the blue line, almost redirected off of Sherman. Will find its way into the far hash mark, centered in the middle. Loose puck, there's the backhand. And did that one go on top of the net? It looked like it had gone off of the glove of Steves, off the top of the net and behind to the blue line. Waiting, here's a shot from Boudreau. That one off the stick of Steves. That one redirected off a Shediac defender. Could be a breakaway. There's a shot. Alain the save, they score! Lennon Crockett, from being hurt earlier, gets the shorthanded goal. At 19.7. And that one definitely in the back of the net. Hard to tell here. And that one definitely rolling into the back of the net. This game's tied at 1. Coming down to the final seconds here of the first. Penalty for Shediac now expired. So we'll finish off the period 5-on-5 behind the net. Sherman on his backhand. Picked up as they get to the ringette line. The clearing attempt off a body. And that ends the first period. Here in MST, 1-1. The goals from Jackson Fougere and Lennon Crockett here on MST. Stay tuned for period 2, bringing the lane, the K, 2026 Colin Coleman, U11, U13 comp. Minutes on the clock for period 2. As we get set to go. Quickly won by Shediac as they bring it into the zone. Fougere trying to cut his way in. It's Veron that's able to clear that one along the boards. There's Hayden getting it to the blue line, but no further as it's shot back in by Fougere. In the corner, turning around, LeBlanc. Over for Wallet. Wallet in the corner. Waiting on defense, that clear taken by LeBlanc. Nice toe drag will send the backhand into some open ice where it'll be taken by O'Brien. O'Brien up there for Crockett. Back on defense, Jacob shooting that one in. Then to be cleared behind the net, it'll find its way into the corner. Here's Anderson with the momentum of the puck, sending that one up to O'Brien. O'Brien across, out of the reach of Hayden, picked up by Crockett. Crockett skating in the corner. Waiting, taken by the defense, Jacob, and thrown against the wall. Once more. The blue line barely held in. As the Spartans look to get that one to the front of the net, there's the shot that's quickly turned away. Behind the net. Western Valley still with possession out in front. Loose in the high slot. There's the shot. And that one didn't miss wide by much. That's the Predators able to clear And this one will go down for icing. Although it looked like Steve's going to have to play that one. Face off in the Shediac zone. It's a bit of a tie-up. They still battle for it as the Spartans trying to go behind the net, but good defensive play by Boudreau to use the body to prevent that Predator from trying to go behind the net. Flipped up through center. Picked up back by the Western Valley defense, and Sherman, his pass picked off by Brun. Brun across, pass to the middle, right to Steves. It's poked behind the net there by Gauguin. Gauguin pinned against the boards. Looks out in front. Tries to go up high, that one out of the reach of Brent. There's the shot, the save, the rebound. Gauguin looks for it, another try, and that one's off the post, not once but twice. Back to the line, here's the shot, redirected out into the corner. Picking up, there's Boudreau to the middle. There's a stick that fell on the ice. Gauguin unable to defend the man behind the net. This one will be flipped high by Hopkins and into center. Cleared back by the Predators. Sherman, he'll look far side. That's blocked by a Shediac defenseman right in the center ice dot as they'll bring it up across the blue line. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc works his way in. He's shoved down by McKinley. Sherman now digs for it. He'll bring it out. Sherman, that angle pass, Petitpas. Sent across as the Spartans come into the zone. Trying to turn and evade capture. There's Veron. Shot along the boards. Predators back out again at the blue line. Waiting, it's flipped. Digging for it. There was Fahy. Brought in by Western Valley. Cutting across. Hopkins waiting, cutting to the net. Hopkins to his backhand and tried to center that one out in front and couldn't hit anyone there. Within the pile of about 3 people. Shediac back the other way. Waiting to pass on the net. It's flipped up. Bouncing puck rolling to the side of the net. That one rimmed along the boards. Held in there by Legel. Legel! That one went right through the top of the blue paint. Taken away by Fahy. He'll pass that one over to the middle. Here's Gallant working his way with the drop pass. There's the shot. And that one missed the net. Fahy waits. Tries to go up the wall. Taken away by Petitpas. Around the boards. It looks like the Spartans will be able to hold this one in here off the wall. Again, that was Conrad trying to go to the middle. Spartans still with it at the line. It's out. Almost a pickpocket right at the Western Valley blue line. Spartans are able to reset here after having a much better start to the second period than they did the first. Conrad escaping traffic. Working his way in. Cutting through 2D and just losing the puck, but regaining it in the corner. Conrad taken down at the blue line, held in. There's the shot from far from Evan Garby that had been blocked before to get all the way to goaltender Mathieu Alain. Walking in for Shediac. Leblanc holding in the corner. The backhand of the blue line. No one's there. The defense were just making a change, so it's forced to go into neutral ice. Crockett to the middle. That pass ended up right to the tape of O'Brien. Crockett with the only goal so far for the Spartans, and that one did come shorthanded just recently before the end of the first period. LeBlanc throwing that one across. A D-to-D pass, now up the middle. Skinny up, here's Fougel. Fougel with speed up the left wing. Cutting in, hits the brakes in the corner. Defended well by Garby, going up to the line now. Legel, the shot, and that one redirected off the pad of Steves. Working his way with the rebound, Boudreau. Down for Fougel. Throwing that one in front. The rebound off the pad of Steves. Luckily taken there by Crockett before any Predators could pounce on that one. Boudreau around the net. Caught in there on the opposite wing. Fougel in to help. Again there as well, up to the blue line. There's a shot attempt that'll miss the net wide. Boudreau again, he'll put into the net, redirected out in front. Brun on the ground, up to the blue line, and no one there. Here's Crockett, speeding by defense. Could be all alone. Crockett against LeBlanc. Crockett the shot, blocked by Lucas LeBlanc. And couldn't even get a shot off. What a great defensive play, Lucas LeBlanc. In center, here's Garby showing off some nice moves to get into the zone. Working his way in, protecting the puck. Sends a Shediac defenseman down right in the middle, high slot. There it is. And what a glove grab by Alain in the net for our first whistle in what has been a hot second. Off the face-off, it's out at the Shediac line and wired back in. Dominic Leger will send that one rink wide. A beautiful tape-to-tape pass. Walking in and trying to get a shot off there. Looked to have been Coleman, but couldn't quite do so. Here's the shot that just gets sent above the net. They'll find it in right at the blue line. Dumped back in by Shediac as the Spartans will try to get some reset here. McKinley trying to go up the wall. Barely held in by Petitpas. Working his way in. Wallet with a sharp angle. He's going to try to get one to the net. That one wired past the blue paint. Another try. That one's blocked. Predators getting some changes off right next to the offensive zone. Then kick to the feet there of Sherman to the line. The shot bouncing puck taken away by McKinley. Fulgel, the attempted shot. He was run over. There's a shot. Pad saved by Steves. And the rebound just came out. McKinley to the line. Blocked in by Jacob. Jacob again keeping it in. Fulgel trying to tap it to his stick. Working his way in, Fulgel with pressure from Sherman. Fulgel behind the net, taken away. Sliding one knee there was Hopkins before passing that one up. It gets barely past Leger as the Spartans now go back the other way. Another redirected puck. Predators with it in their own end. Rindle on the boards. Captured here by Fulgel. Fulgel to the middle at the blue line. Looking to get it. There's Conrad. Conrad picks and steals. He now goes back the other way. Sullivan Conrad into the zone. The pass to the middle. All alone. Here's the shot. And what a save from Alain to keep that one out of the net. Fulgel trying to regather. Taken away by the Spartans as they try to get some offense going in the late stages of period 2. Flipped high and out of the zone. And this looks like it'll go for icing against the Preds. And the clock keeps going. Definitely not supposed to be straight time. The clock stops at 3:35, although it had been about 10 seconds since the play had stopped. We'll see if they add time here. And they will. They will go up to 3:45 before we drop the puck. Spartans rotating in their own end. Shooting along the boards, there's Veron. Taken away by Fahy as he gets that one up over for Anderson, who shoots that one into the zone. Fahy again, back to his defense. Waiting there, one touch pass. Back for Fahy as he tries to bring that one up through the zone. Predators regroup behind the net. It's Jacob sending that one across. It's backhanded out of the zone. Will go all the way through center, picked up by Garby. He'll go D to D in his own end. That one up the wall. Pass attempt there, bringing it in is Hopkins. Hopkins pass off. There's a shot. That one didn't quite get on net. Predators regather up the blue line. Barely held in. The second attempt gets out, and this could be an on-man rush developing here. Walking in, the pass to the middle, trying to get a shot up there. Petitpas to the side of the net. And a whistle. And could the net have been knocked off? They're going to have the face-off unless the ref lost sight of the puck. Was definitely loose. A great pass. Michael Brun, who started that 2-on-1, went perfectly to Jesse Petitpas and his shot was just off the side of the net after bobbling it for just an extra second. Shediac to the line. Attempted shot blocked. Another try. That was a good 2 blocks, I believe. That was Declan O'Brien to the front of the net now. Pettypaw trying to jam at it again. He's had many chances in these last few plays. Back for it, there's Hayden. He'll flip that one off the glass. That was blocked and redirected the Predators back into the zone. Garby trying to shovel a backhand up and will past Pettypaw. That one ends up right with Crockett. Crockett to the zone. Hovers the blue line. Crockett in, hits the brakes. And goes back out to the red line. Garby, the saucer pass. That one intercepted. And the Shediac Predators go back the other way, but offside. So play will have to be stopped at 1:45 of the second. Now a clock takes just under 2 to go. In period 2, still a 1-1 game. There's been no goals this period, but no shortage of action to say the least. As the Spartans will dump this one in the zone. That's Theodore Sherman getting it deep. Predators reset, a beautiful breakout. And that is a textbook breakout now to Fulgel. He shoots. That one just missed the net. McKinley to the red line. Fulgel in the corner. Back up, they play a bit of catch. Back for Fulgel, throwing that in front of the slot, and the shot is turned away by Steves. Point blank range, in tight, another try. Another good save by Kiera Steves. Hayden goes back the other way, trying to shove that one up through center. Predators applying tons of pressure to end off this period. Another try walking up here. LeBlanc taken down. McKinley now scoops and steals, goes back the other way. 3 players down in the Western Valley end. Meanwhile, it's McKinley. Into the zone, hovers the line, tries to get by Jacob, cuts, goes back up, then his pass up for, I believe that's Sherman, who's just out of the zone. Moving back there, Veron. In a battle, we go right to the side of the net, that's turned over, the shot booted over, another save, and that one just ends up through the crease. Tons of pressure from the Predators in these past 30 seconds. Fulgel chipped it in before going for a change, and we got a penalty. Some rough stuff happening in the middle. Looks like it's going to go against the Spartans. Walking in, Brun in the corner, throwing that one out in front, off a couple feet. They jam at it, and we'll have a whistle at 0.8 to go. And the Spartans will take a penalty. Right as we end off the second. Couldn't pinpoint exactly who went to the box. And they're off the draw. There's the quick buzzer as the second period finishes still as we started 1-1. Brain to lane from the K at the 2026 Colin Coleman U11 and U13 competitive tournament being streamed here on MST. And we get set for the third and final period. Looks like it's Conrad that gets kicked out of the draw, having to be replaced. A quick puck drop there as the Predators try to bring this back in. Gauguin leading the rush. He was quickly poked off as the puck gets dumped in. Sherman skating after it for the Spartans. He moves after it here before clearing it out. Skating back is LeBlanc. The Spartans bring it in shorthanded. There's a slap shot. Takes the stick out of the hands of LeBlanc. Turning around, there's Conrad. Conrad steals, cuts to the net. There's a good poke check by Bro. Conrad in the corner, working his way, still with it. Had about 3 players on him before it's finally turned over and gone back the other way. Again, the pass up through center. Shot in by Boudreau. The Spartans will capture it in their own corner. Have done a great job on this PK thus far. And forcing LeBlanc, or that's Legel, excuse me, back out to center. Hovering around the blue line, now finds its way to the red line in center. Spartans will clear this one in again. Ouellet back in his own end. Going around the net, just less than 30 to go. Still on the penalty. LeBlanc, the one-touch pass doesn't go, so it's cleared back by the Spartans again. They haven't even let Shediac even get set up. Alec Boudreau, the pass up for Fourgel into open ice. Dominique Legel now. Waiting before flipping that one. LeBlanc trying to get a hold of it, and he will. And this penalty is now expired. So a great penalty kill. Fourgel, the shot, the rebound is covered up by Steves. She's been on fire in these last couple minutes. And even able to pounce on top of any potential rebound. Face-off will go to Steves' left. Gonna be the Predators that quickly get onto that one. Taking around in the corner. Now shot up towards the blue line and outside the zone they'll go. Could be a rush for the Spartans back the other way. Across the blue line, there's the shot just over the net. And that was Crockett rather, trying to get his second of the game. As the Predators reset. Trying to get that breakout pass from Bro. There's the shot from the blue line. They score. And what a goal from the captain, Evan Garby. Wired one into the from the blue line, and it finds its way in the net. And that shot definitely surprised Alain out in the net. That one just wired in from the blue line. And it'll find its way past the red line. 2-1 now in favor of the Spartans. Spartans behind their own net, recovering. They try to get that one past the blue line. They will get into center, but it's immediately taken by Lucas Leblanc and sent back in. Recovering behind his own net, here's Vardy. Up the wall, and a beautiful breakout pass to the center. It'll be flipped in. Working his way into the zone. Trying to pass that one in the middle there was Hopkins, who was in behind the net. Leblanc waiting. Tries to slow down play before going up the wall. Over to Gauguin. I tried to leave a stretch pass up there for Boudreau. Cleared back in. This one tipped off a Spartan. That one probably very close to a too many men call. as the Predators have now found themselves down by 1. What has been an amazing game. There's a shot from the blue line from Lejean. That was turned away by Steves. And there's a huge hit against the boards, and that one's going to get called. And this one looks like it's going to go against the Spartans. They are not impressed with it. And we'll see out in the corner here. But with 8 minutes left to go exactly, it's the Predators to a 2-minute power play. What could be a key moment in this game if they manage to get on the board here. Fourgel, the pass to the middle, tried to get that one over to Alex Leblanc. Out of his reach, here's Lejean at the line. Kicking that one aside. There's a shot from the blue line. That one missed, and then it'll be wrapped up the boards now. Over for Jacob, down for Fourgel. Fourgel, side of the net, back out in front, the shot. And that one didn't get to the net, although very close to doing so. Will now find its way down to the opposite end of the ice. Lejean to the middle, Fourgel. Fourgel, pass across. Predator skated in, cutting to the middle. There's the shot, and that one just redirected wide. Again, this is somehow still a 2-1 game. Steves and the unlucky bounces have been crucial against the Predators so far this game. Here's O'Brien skating into the zone. That one quickly slapped by him, and all the way down the ice, the Spartans have showed an incredible penalty kill so far. Bro, across there, trying to move it up. There's Coleman. Coleman still jabbing at it. He gets it out of the zone. Coleman in the center, past the red line. He runs over a man, and the Spartans bench wanted a call on that, but they won't get it. Behind the net on defense, this one again fired all the way down the ice, nearing the end of the man advantage for the Predators now. Bro, lead pass out over for O'Brien. O'Brien in the center, being shoved, but he is able to get this one up into the offensive zone. Winding it on his backhand, Coleman to the net, and he couldn't get that one to go, as the man advantage will end here. And there's a Predator that went down, and there's going to be a call against the Spartans again. Unhappy with a shot from the blue line. That one didn't go on net. That was a long shot from Boudreau. And the Spartans will touch up. And Shediac will go back to the power play soon after they just had one end. And that one more just looking like accidental contact. But it will send the Predators back to the power play. We'll try this face-off to the left of Steves to start this man advantage now for Shediac. It's their third one in a row here, and again, that's been a common pattern. It's a hot start for the Spartans. And the face-off here, going to be just outside the Shediac blue line. Gauguin out through center. That one slapped right back in by the Spartans defense. Taken here by Alec Boudreau. Up the wall. A good outlet pass. One touch over to Boudreau. Sasha Boudreau into the zone to the left side. Throwing it to the middle. Off a skate. There's another try. And Steves is able to get on that one before the rebound ended up in the corner. At the blue line, that one in between the legs of Lejean. So it's back here over for Boudreau. A shot up through center. It looked like it deflected off someone, so this one will not be called icing. And there's Sherman just going to try to pin it up against the boards. It might cause a bit of a scrum here behind the net. It will, as the puck ceases to move. Sherman still with it, pinned up against the boards. And the Spartans will get on that one in the corner. Sherman's just going to try the same thing again and get that one against the boards, killing more and more time before they finally whistle this one down. With some players down on the ice in the process. This one held in at the line. A pass from Bro to Fugel. Fugel, the shot. Save made near the 5-hole of Steves. And that one again, a close call as Fugel shot it long through traffic. Steves did not see that one until about the last second. Now face off to the right of Steves. Just over 45 seconds. Still to go in the PK for the Spartans, and here's Crockett. Crockett working his way in, and he was stripped of the puck there from Jacob. Crockett been huge on the penalty kill so far. Fugel trying to send that one up. It's cleared back into the zone. Off escape, picked up by Crockett. Crockett hits the brakes, tries a couple moves, and he's picked off there by Bro. Shot in from the blue line. That one blocked away by Jacob as he fell to his knees after blocking that one. Deflection, that one somehow stays in play. Fugel waiting, has pressure on him from McKinley, is able to sustain possession, sending that one over to Wallet. Wallet into the zone. Cutting around now, Alex Leblanc. Caught in by Fugel. Leblanc behind the net, to the side of the net now, and that one popped right out into the slot where no one was waiting, and now the penalty has ended. So it's 5-on-5 as we get down to under 3.5 to go in the third period in a 1-goal game here on MST. This one shot against the wall, almost kills the linesman. And that one looks to have almost hit a member of the coaching staff on the Spartans bench. You know, they always say the players have to have their head up, but so do the coaching staff behind the bench. That was a laser right to the Western Valley bench. Offensive zone draw for Shediac once more. They've had incredible pressure in the third period, just haven't managed to get one by Steves just yet. And this could very well be a game that we see in the semis or finals in the U13AA division, as here's another whistle. Puck was pinned up against the boards. And these teams have both locked in playoff spots in the U13AA division. This game will be to decide who gets first place if there is a winner. And another quick whistle. They're going to want to do this one again. And if there is one decisive winner, there'll be some tiebreakers to decide the few teams that are 2-1. There's a quick shot. That one missed wide of the net. Predators find it in the corner. Trying to go up the wall. It's rimmed behind the net. Taken away. Spinning pass out in front with the backhand. He was unable to hit anyone there. Here's Hayden throwing this one up. Here's a shot. A quick one at that from Gauguin that didn't get on net. Now could be a potential breakaway. It's a foot race for the puck. What a move walking in here. Veron, the shot saved by Alain. Has to track that one down in the air, and he does. Here's Gaumier. Sending that one around for Leblanc. There's a hit out in front, and oh my, What a play almost by Conrad to turn the puck over right in front of the net. Crockett walking in. Crockett, the shot just over the gauge. Cormier going to pick this one up again. Lead pass there for Gauguin. Gauguin through center on the near boards. That puck taken off his twig and sent back into center ice. Shot in by Boudreau. Predators work their way in. Here's a shot. That one off a shin pad. Their own rebound. There's the shot. And again, a pad save from Steves. So it's been absolutely huge so far in this game. And watch out for Alain. He might be getting pulled here soon. Getting down to close to a minute and a half to go in a game that they are down by 1 goal. At the line, just barely not held in. Or it looks like we're going to have a penalty call. It's interference, and it's going against the Predators. Reese Gauguin goes to the box for interference in a time where they can really not afford to be doing so. Being down by a goal and now shorthanded for a minute and a half. Shediac winning the draw now. It's a pass up, taken away by the Western Valley defense. Spartans into the zone, and there was a collision, but it's the Predators that end up with the puck. Predators in the zone, trying to get some offense rolling. Behind the net, turned over, waiting for Alain to get the signal to go to the bench. And there he goes. Alain is out of his net on the bench. It's 5-on-5. And the Spartan down on the ice, so it's 5-on-5 with the Predators playing with an empty net. And there's a penalty, and this one's going against the Predators, it seems. And it looks like it's a hold against Lucas Leblanc. So Alain's going to return into the net. So it'll be a 5-on-3 now for the rest of the game. And just a terrible time to get into penalty trouble when in desperate need of a goal. This one's out of the zone. Could be a rush here. The Spartans defense going to have to get back, and they do. And there's a shove and another penalty coming up against Shediac. And this time, oh, here we go, a couple shoves. And they are after Alec Ouellet with 25.8 to go. So Ouellet with the initial, I don't know if they're going to call it body contact. And it looks like we got some Spartans going to the box as well. So we have 2 Spartans going to the box. Here's the original penalty, taking down the defenseman. And the Shediac coach wanting an explanation. So 25.8. As of right now, the Spartans are on a 5-on-3 for 58 seconds. Shediac, they have a full house in the box there. We'll see if these penalties just even out. They have 4 players on the ice for right now. One of them's going to have to go off. They have 2 penalties off. The Predators still with 4 players on the ice. The Spartans are going to go to the bench. It's a 1-goal game here at MST. And still just yelling back and forth from the benches. Steves is next to the bench. All teams have vacated the regular ice. They're at their benches. Still nothing showing up on the score clock, so it looks like we might continue this 5-on-3. Looks like the other two are going to cancel out. We have 4 Spartans on the ice right now. Another Spartan has gone to the box, and there's 4 Shediac players with an empty net. I can't say I've ever seen this before. They're going to play 4-on-4 with a 4-on-3 power play with an empty net. With the Predators with an empty net, it's a 4-on-4. It was Boudreau that was going to the bench originally, now goes back. Lots of confusion. I see 3 Spartans in the box and 3 Predators in the box, it looks like. And finally, we'll get this puck dropped after a minute of delay. Shot from the blue line that just missed. Fulgel, the rebound, throwing that one out in front, and we have a quick whistle. It looks like the net is off. And you can still clearly hear these coaches barking on the bench for their players. In a tight 1-goal game, it's 2-1 in favor of the Spartans. Face-off's going to go to the opposite side, so everyone's going to have to congregate to the same side. And face-off dropped here. The Predators in desperate need of a goal. They have an empty net, and there's another penalty, another dangerous hit. And there's been about 6 or 7 penalties within the past 2 minutes here on MST. It's another penalty against the Preds. And this time it's Dominique Leger that heads off. 14.2 left to go. And here just cross-checks. I believe that was Lawson Hopkins in the back. Had nothing to do with the play. So Alain's going to go back in the net. And now the odds drastically decreased to 4-on-3. Along the boards now, shot in off the draw. McKinley behind the net. He tries to take down a man. A little scrum behind the net here. Players falling. There's a little shove given. Now there's 3.4 left on the clock. McKinley goes to pick up his stick. Behind the net is Jacob, and it looks like we will drop the puck here. So 4-on-3. We get the puck dropped here, and this will most likely end the game. The Spartans are going to win the U13AA division in the round robin, and they will play the 4th seed tomorrow morning. Here on MST, you will see these Spartans again Sunday morning. We hope you tune in for that. Thank you for watching. It's the 2026 Colin Coleman U11 U13 competitive tournament. Brain Elaine from the K.